Okay, Marie, I am so excited to have you here today and be speaking with you. There are so many things for us to cover. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
It's an honor. You are going to be the head coach at Starting Strength Cincinnati.
That's right. Coming early summer. So I don't know. The word I use the most is excited. It's going to be a really, really cool opportunity, a really cool place to get strong.
I'm really excited to see these gyms come open one after another because, in general, it grows the brand, but then it also helps to reach more people. And a lot of people are going to be watching this, super excited to be listening to you tell your story. So I want to kind of give everyone a background, um, where you started in Starting Strength and what attracted you to Starting Strength, how you became a coach, who you worked with. So, but first of all, congratulations. I understand that you're a new mom.
Yep, I am the new mom of a beautiful, smiley 3-month-old baby girl. She's my first, so it's been an adventure.
Rhea, right?
Rhea Marie. Yep.
Rhea Marie. And the fact that you said smiling baby girl is already impressive to me because most babies are cranky, but she, as I understand, she owes you these good smiles now.
Yeah, we had a bit of a rough pregnancy and a bit of a rough birth, but she's been happy, healthy baby, so way worth it.
And we're going to
Yeah.
talk about that for all the new moms who are lifters and listening. But first, tell me how you came to Starting Strength, how long you've been a coach for, and what attracted you to this method.
So I've been a coach since early 2018. Before that, I've worked with in the Starting Strength method, trained in the Strength method for about 3 years. Prior to that, I went to college at a small liberal arts college in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, about 45 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. And there, I was lucky enough to meet Professor Nicholas Ruculia, who is a finance professor, but also a Starting Strength coach.
Awesome.
And he's always been super generous, wanting the students to lift with him at the school gym and teaching them the method. So that was really my first real introduction to weightlifting. So I like to say that I learned like quote unquote right way from the
Yes,
start,
you did.
and then
Very
was
fortunate.
able to branch out from there with Starting Strength as the base work to compare everything else to really come back to that and evaluate other things from there. And it was always end up coming back to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
The
So
foundation for everything that we were looking for.
absolutely. So from there with Dr. Rakulia, we formed a big group of lifters, people from the administration, other students, athletes, old ladies, everything. So as we lived in this group, I was able to kind of help others and see a wide variety of lifters in terms of ability and body composition or goals or whatever.
Mhm.
And I just really didn't want to do anything else. So I
Excellent.
got
That's
my
excellent.
certification, and
What year were
here
you
we are,
certified in?
early 2018. So
Great.
yeah.
I feel like you've done so much. You've had such a big career, and you did some really inspiring work that I really enjoyed following, working with a special needs population. Tell me a little bit about that. And I mean, there's so much to tell, and we're definitely going to clip in some video from there. It was incredible what you guys did.
It was such an amazing experience. St. Vincent College has a continuing education program for students, young adults with special needs called the Bearcat Best Program, Bearcat being the mascot at St. Vincent,
Mhm.
and where they teach them living skills as well as college classes. And we're able to coach them in for their physical education and work with them. So students with Down syndrome or cerebral palsy or other things like that, severe autism. And that also extended outside of St. Vincent at one point to ACME providers, which is adults with special needs. So working with them was quite the challenge. You have to be on completely all the time, and then
Hands
learning
on, hands
hands
on.
on, exactly. And then, yeah, you can't take your eyes off them for a second. You don't want to, they're so much fun,
Mhm.
but it's definitely a different coaching skill set as well.
Yes. And so, I mean, listen, the basics are easy. Working with healthy individuals and athletes is easy. You really got
Yes.
a full round of experience and
Hmm.
education when you're already jumping into a special populations. I remember watching videos and thinking how much it impacted the parents' lives, not just the children's lives, and how
Exactly.
meaningful it was to the family members to have you guys working with the kids to give them a sense of normalcy and control and happiness. Was that one of like, that must have been some of the most satisfying work that you've ever done?
And that's just the thing, because for us individuals, like, we talk so much about how much of an influence getting a little bit stronger is in our lives. But for this population, just the littlest bit of strength gives them the so much more independence in their own lives. Being able to just carry their own laundry basket to the washing machine or to get into a car unassisted, it's so life changing with such a small amount of time and dedication. And it's something that's just theirs, that they have. The number on the bar is something that they've worked for. No one's helping them move that weight. Their PR is truly their PR, and it's something that's just, they love it. I love it. It's awesome.
I can tell you love it. I used to watch the videos and be cheering for you guys. And some of what I noticed when I watched the videos is the support from all the other
Mhm.
adults and kids in the group, how much they cheered for each other, encouraged one another. You really built a very strong community there, using this
Yeah.
method and helping that demographic. And I think that that's something that really stood out to me, is how big the community got, how supportive it was, how important it was to the parents, not just the children. Must have been quite
Mhm.
satisfying for the coaches to do such meaningful work.
It was awesome. And we have a few students in special needs powerlifting at the time, which was not a very big branch of special needs right now. I had one college age student who had cerebral palsy, and he had such a bad, he would get bad tremors in his hand. And when he first started, he couldn't grip the bar enough to deadlift 31 pounds. And he's a big, strong boy.
Wow.
Um, and then 2, 3 years later, he was at deadlifting 315, 3 plates. And it was just the biggest like change ever. And he wants to be a coach, and he likes working in gyms, and he's just doing awesome. And I'm super, super proud of him. Ryan Roloski.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
And when you just said that it took a couple of years, it's so impressive for
Hmm.
any individual, healthy individual, to be committed to a training program for a couple of years. But especially when you're talking about kids and adults with disabilities, the level of frustration and
Hmm.
medical things that can happen along the way, to be consistent for a couple of years and reach those goals, not, it doesn't just speak to the type of individual that the trainee is, but also the quality of the coaching. And I know that you will bring with you that same level of dedication, community building, and expertise to Starting Strength Cincinnati. Lucas is the owner, and when you and I were speaking about the opportunities that were available in Cincinnati, I thought, oh my God, this girl is going to be a perfect match for this gym because of you, not just your background and your experience and all of the things that you've done, but because of your great personality, your confidence. And it just seemed to me like what a perfect match, because we do match up just like apprentices, we match up coaches to facilities. And Cincinnati is going to be really lucky to have you there, and as well your team. So right now we're building your coaching team, and we've got assistant coaches and apprentices. And I wanted to know from you what it is that you look for when you're developing your coaching team, when you're bringing on apprentices, because actually, I know people don't know this, but Maria is in the prep course, the Starting Strength prep course. You're a mentor. And so you really have a lot of experience teaching and building a team. What is it that you look for in your coaching team and in your apprentices?
So, really, one of the biggest things is that commitment, because the Starting Strength certification is not a weekend course that you pay to play that will just print you out a certification that you sign. So there is a lot of commitment to in taking in all of this knowledge, where you have like the practicals on the platform, you have to see these bodies, you have to coach, you have to learn all the background, the science background and everything. So it's not an overnight kind of a thing. You do have to be committed, and you do have to have the kind of like long-term goals. You and I both know from experience how much we've had to put into it, how much we've had to learn, and how much better coaches we are for going through that process. So go ahead. So that kind of,
a lot of students ask me, what do I need to be successful in the prep course? And I thought maybe you could give them some tips of, if you're thinking about joining the prep course, what is it that you need? What do you see often when people drop out? What is it that they were lacking? You know, give them some, maybe people who are listening who want to join the prep course, some tips on how to be successful and what not to do.
So it is a self-guided course. So there is that kind of self-motivation that you do need to have, the consistency that you do need to have to complete the course. Because I'm a mentor, I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to look over your shoulder 24/7. I'm here to help you with your assignments, to comment, to lead you in the right direction. But a lot of the people who do drop out just kind of fall off. They don't turn in assignments for weeks at a time. Like self-guided, but ideally you get 1 week per one module. So the people who just kind of lose contact or don't turn in things on a every other week or weekly or every other week kind of schedule, those are the ones who I see. Well, so just stay in contact, and really like, if you're going to do it, commit to doing a little bit every single night. And the ones who are coaching a lot, making the time, it doesn't have to be for money. It doesn't have to be professionally in a gym. Just, you can do it with your family members. You can do it with your friends in your own home gym, but you need to be really coaching. You can't do this module if you're just doing the textbook work. You really have to be actively coaching. The more, the better.
The more the better. And I always tell them, like, it's not about how many people, they always ask me, what's the number of people I need to join the prep course? And I said, listen, you want as much experience coaching as you can get. That being said, we know there's obstacles in the way. Since the pandemic had closed a lot of gyms, people had a hard time getting clients. I encourage them to wait until they have some experience, and they've got trainees who can be their practice trainees for the course. And the more people you see move, the more successful you'll be in the prep course, because people don't realize what this certification is and what the education is. You're really learning a model that you'll be referencing throughout your career. And in order to develop your coach's eye, you really have to see a lot of people move. I feel like, almost 10 years later, and I'm still learning something every time I attend a seminar or I work with a client. It like opens my eyes to a problem I might not have seen before. And that's what's really unique to this method.
Exactly. And you shouldn't be scared of those kinds of things as a student or as a coach, the things you don't know, especially because that's why you're in the prep course. And there's such a big support system within the mentorship program with the other students and the other mentors on the Slack channel that we use. So you're going to learn, you're going to discuss, you're going to problem solve. So, it's good if you don't know something. It's fun to learn.
Yeah, making mistakes in this arena is necessary in order to learn, because it's a skill set we didn't have before. And you're going to be building a team there in Cincinnati that helps mentor other upcoming coaches, and you'll be working together. And I explain to everyone, this is an opportunity like never before. You get to be mentored by a starting strength coach, and every level that you jump in your experience, you'll then be able to mentor someone else. And when we teach, we learn. And so that's one of the most important things to this, to being able to, complete this credential, is that willingness to make mistakes and to learn, and then to also teach other people. So when are you going to be relocating?
Hopefully within the next couple of months. So we're looking at properties right now. I'll be going out in about a month to hopefully look in person and hang out with Luke and Adam and the crew that we've assembled so far. So it's It's exciting. We're in
Oh,
Utah right now, so it's going to be a big cross country move.
that's exciting. And not only is exciting, I mean, this is tough work. You're a new mom. And so, you give birth, you're a coach, and now you're thinking, what's the next step? This opportunity comes to you, and you're a mentor in the prep course. So how do you juggle it all for all the moms that are watching who are lifters or non-lifters? How do you juggle it all? And I know that you've been on your own health journey and that you're trying to get back into lifting shape. And tell me a little bit about your experience, postpartum, and some of the struggles you had, and how it is that you're maintaining the nutrition and heading towards the goal of, increasing strength. Help new moms understand what to do when things don't go exactly as planned. What were your experiences?
Right. So I had an emergency C-section, which I did not plan for, and that totally threw me. I'm not one to shy away. I've had injuries in the past, and I have used barbells to rehab from that, no problem. But the C-section, that was different. And then I had a hematoma right after it, under the incision, sitting on both the uterus and the bladder.
Wow.
So I was down for the count for a few weeks afterwards. And one of the things that really surprised me was I had great doctors, great medical team, great support, and there was just no guidance for what to do physically after giving birth.
Yes.
It's like, okay, don't do
Bed
anything.
rest.
Yeah, better don't do anything for 6 to 8 weeks. Nothing. Like, even when I had a surgery in my wrist before, there were at least like a handout with
Right.
stretches or something. There
Right.
was nothing at my 6-week checkup. They didn't even mention any kind of rehab, and that is a major, major surgery,
Yeah.
going through the abdominals, going through into the uterus, and there's nothing. And I had good support, so I can't imagine, and a good knowledge, background knowledge of where to get back to where I was.
Mm.
So, and I think that's just a crime. So, yeah, I do want to talk more about that kind of rehab and how I do it. I don't think I could do it without a proper support system that I have. I'm lucky to have my husband. He works from home, and we're able to kind of go back and forth to the gym with and now the baby's kind of old enough where she can come with us.
Did you lift? Did you lift throughout your pregnancy?
No, I tried,
Mhm.
and I was so sick,
Mm.
and then Rhea had some growth problems. She was stunted. They think she stopped growing and dropped from about the 70th percentile all the way down to the 4th percentile. And me being sick, we just kind of stopped. And that psychologically
Yeah.
really messed with me, because this is something I've done 3 or 4 times a week for 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
And all the articles that I read from the Starting Strength website, from other things on the internet, like, you want to stay physically active for you and your baby. So that was just, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And that was hard, because it's such a, physically I feel better, but mentally you also feel better. And then you have the added pressure of being pregnant and wanting to do everything you can right for the baby. So, one of the biggest things for new moms, I think, is just to give yourself a break, be forgiving. Like, if you can't keep to your routine while pregnant or postpartum, that's okay. You just made a little living body. Like, be nice to yourself. It'll all come back in its own time.
Yes.
So, and that was one of the biggest things, like, during pregnancy and postpartum, that I struggle with,
Yeah.
because I like my routine, and when it's off, it really throws me. But okay, I can't do this. I'm focusing on my baby today. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't get into the gym and do 3 lifts a day, 3 times a week, that's okay. I'll do 1 or 2.
That's right.
And if I can't add 5 pounds, that's okay. I'm still moving.
That's
I'm
right.
still doing something awesome. You're not in it to make the kind of progress that you were. This is a rehab thing, like going back to the C-section. Like you're in it to heal your body, not to jump right back into it and lift 225 pounds on your back.
I used
So,
to tell our moms, I had a lot of experience training pregnant women in our gym. And I used to tell all of the moms before the PR was what was on the bar. Now the PR is the baby. So the pregnancy and the baby
exactly.
comes first. And, whatever you can do. Some women were able to lift throughout their whole pregnancy with no problem. Some had
Yeah,
nausea and all of these other complications. Sometimes they would come in and all they
exactly.
tolerated was a press. That's what we did. But I noticed that the program not doesn't just make you physically stronger in preparation for childbirth and for pregnancy, but it also builds that mental fortitude that we need when we're frustrated and feeling down, and not to give up, and having confidence in our body. You're very in tune with your body when you're a lifter. And I think that the lifting, the foundation that you develop from lifting probably helped to get you through, helps to get a lot of women through.
Absolutely. There's just, because you learn how to do things that, being my first pregnancy, being my first child, it's a lot of unknowns and a lot of firsts. And there's nothing that prepares you better for those kinds of things than having a whole lot of weight that can like crush you on your back, that you don't know if you can handle on
Yes.
your back, and going through that and doing things that you don't think you can do or you've never done before. And that kind of that kind of adventure and added with discipline, I think very, very much helped me get through this, as well as understanding more of my own biology, my own physical ability. So that helped me stay calm and grounded during the hard parts of the pregnancy, during the really scary stuff with Rhea, when we didn't know if she was growing or not, like how that process works. And she had a major growth spurt like 2 weeks before her due date, and she was fine. She was 6 pounds 1 ounce at birth, and she was perfectly fine, perfectly healthy.
And
So
how did you return to the lifting?
So at about a little bit earlier than you're recommended, I was feeling better after I was healed from the hematoma, because the C-section hurt, it sunk, but I was up and walking around that day, because you know that you're supposed to keep moving. You can't just stay and down and atrophy. That's the worst thing you can do. So as soon as the anesthetic wore off, I was up and walking back and forth down the hospital halls, and then it just as much as you can tolerate. And I did that until the hematoma, and then after that started to heal, same thing, walking around, and it bounced back. Like I felt really good. And then they're supposed to wait till about 6 to 8 weeks to start getting back into the weight room. They tell you don't lift anything more than your baby. Yeah.
What if your baby grows, and what if your baby gets heavier? Which baby?
Right. Oh yeah. Which baby? So at like 4 weeks, I started kind of experimenting a little bit, and then I got in contact with one of the Starting Strength coaches, Will Morris. He's a doctor of physical therapy. He's coached me on and off through so many injuries for years, and I started slowly back into the gym with a modified LP, 2 lifts a day that I can get in and out super quick. And it was really weird at first, because like I said, I've had other injuries, but this one, like when your nerves are completely severed, like they are with the C-section and everything, like it was frustrating and weird, being that my body felt like it wasn't my body anymore, because it wasn't what I was used to pre-pregnancy. I didn't lift much during my pregnancy, so I'm still expecting to go back to before I was pregnant. Because as your abs start to like grow and separate, you kind of get used to lifting that way as well, with certain modifications that we do for pregnant women as they lift. But I didn't have that getting used to it. I expected to go straight back to my body before pregnancy. And so I didn't have any feeling in my transverse abdominals, my lower abdominals. My body wasn't moving the way I wanted it to, but the mind muscle connection wasn't there. And it was so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
But slowly and steadily, just getting back to it, or 3 months out now, I finally feel good in the gym. And
Good.
ladies, it comes back. It really, really does.
It comes back. You just have to
Patient.
not quit and be
Yeah.
patient. Don't quit and be
Yeah.
patient. And you've also been inspiring all of us on Instagram with your nutrition journey. So tell
Mm-hmm.
us a little bit about, when did you decide, okay, it's time to kick up my nutrition, and how did you, what are the things that you're doing, generally speaking, maybe some tips for women who are looking to drop body fat or just get healthy and regain energy again after childbirth,
Mm-hmm.
especially with a newborn. What do you do to help yourself?
So okay, where I started, I wanted to get back. Everyone loses like some baby weight and some afterbirth
Yeah.
immediately, and I wasn't eating well at first because I was sick and I was nauseous from all the pain medication I have. I hate taking that stuff, and so I dropped back to my pre-pregnancy weight very, very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but my body didn't look like it did,
Mm-hmm.
because it won't.
Right.
Um, but that kind of hit me. So when I got into lifting, go hand in hand, started working on getting my protein back up, because again, when I was pregnant, I was so sick I couldn't eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing I started working back on. And I think that's a good first goal for anyone
Mm-hmm.
who's trying to start pay attention to their food intake, no matter the goal, whether it's weight loss, body recomposition, or weight gain.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on that protein. And the best way I do that is just meal prepping once or twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
cooking a buttload of shredded chicken or ground meat, ground beef, ground turkey, whatever, and focusing on those lean proteins and getting that in. From there, whole foods, things like that, and things I couldn't tolerate when I was pregnant. It was crazy. So that's the biggest thing right now, is focusing on the protein content still for me, because I will, if I'm not thinking about it, I won't eat
Yes.
enough protein. And I think that's pretty common.
All of us, yeah, you and I both. But what really helps
Yeah.
is when you're on a training program, because then you're going to eat to support it.
Absolutely. And
Fueling performance.
absolutely. And to track it, because just like we have our lifting journals, like when we track it, that, we actually see it, we can compare, we have the data to support what we're doing, and we can be able to go back and study and say, like, okay, this isn't working, this is working. So keeping that food log is just as important as keeping your training log.
That's a great
So,
tip. Yeah, so I actually just got the low carb tortillas that you suggested to me on Instagram.
did you try them yet?
Thank you. Yeah, because I'm also trying to drop some belly fat, and thankfully my lifting program keeps me on point, and it's much more satisfying to fuel performance than it is to just deprive yourself of calories and
Absolutely
feel frustrated.
Yeah.
You're bringing so much good knowledge and experience and expertise to Starting Strength Cincinnati. I hope that all the women who are watching, as well as all the men who are watching, and all of the special demographics, all the people who think that strength training isn't for them, or who are scared to approach the barbell because they think that they're not capable of getting stronger, in your hands, they can be sure that they will get the care that they need, and that anything is possible. I can't wait to see this facility open and to see you at the head of a team who is going to be very lucky to have you as a leader.
Awesome.
You're such a
And thank you,
special
Ina. And thank you. And thank you, Ina. And thank you for putting me in contact with everyone and getting me in touch and helping to build this team. It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I expect that your baby will be there right with you on the gym
Oh
floor.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to love having the babies in my gym. It was so much fun. I'm like, I'll hold the baby while you squat, because,
Oh
my
yeah.
kids are all grown up and it's a mom-friendly environment. So we're
It
hoping we
is.
see more women coming into Starting Strength. And with you at the head of that gym, this is the time, ladies. So if you're in Cincinnati,
Absolutely.
this is the time. And for people who want to reach you, where would be a good place where are you on Instagram? Let them know.
On Instagram, I'm at Marie_barbell. And yeah, feel
An
free
email.
to reach
How
me
about an
there.
email if they need to shoot
Email
you a question?
Marie Kunkel 91 at gmail.com. MARIEKUNKEL 91 at gmail.
Thank you, because I know
And yeah,
there's
feel free.
a lot of ladies are going to have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I can't wait to be having another conversation in person in your gym in a
No,
couple of months.
it's coming quick, and there are a lot more gyms opening up too. It's a pretty exciting time.
Everywhere, everywhere. And for people who have
Yeah.
prep course questions, they can email Marie. Apprentices who are interested in working at Starting Strength Cincinnati. And if you want to become a coach, you can shoot Marie or myself a message and we will get you started. It's an exciting time to be in Starting Strength.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ina.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon, hon.
Bye.
Bye.